Good morning. Well, a historic mugshot. Former President Donald Trump booked on charges he tried to overturn the 2020 election. Ahead this morning on DC News Now, how Trump is reacting after his fourth arraignment.
Plus, what's next for the former president and his 18 co-defendants. Jackie?
Well, Shanika and Tanaya out there this morning. It's a wet start, especially north and west of D.C. at this point. Do have some embedded steady to heavy rainfall as well. More scattered showers and storms later on today, too. All these details coming up.
Plus, we're hearing from parents after a Montgomery County judge ruled they can't opt their kids out of certain lessons.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, it is coming up on 6 o'clock on a Friday morning, starting off with a live look outside. You can see the Capitol right there. It's dry in D.C. right now, but we could see some rain later on today. We'll have more on that coming up. But first, thanks for starting your morning with us here on DC News Now. I'm Tanaya Wright.
And I'm Shanika Grimshaw. I'm in for Corey James this morning. And Lex is tracking your commute, what you can expect on the roads. And here we have Jackie and talking about the weather and possible rain.
Yes, exactly. So you may need the rain gear before you step out the door this morning, especially north and west of D.C. D.C. dry for now, but that won't be for too much longer. It's likely that that batch that's just off towards the north and west over towards Loudoun County, that leading edge moving through Montgomery County, Maryland, that'll continue to dive its way southbound, but it won't be packing as much of a punch as what it saw earlier this morning when it was just moving into Garrett County. Earlier, we did see some of the stronger parts of that thunderstorm pushing through there. Much of the lightning is situated over towards parts of West Virginia, just outside of our viewing area. So overall, we're just tracking some of the lighter rain that's now pushing through, as opposed to what we saw earlier with some of the deeper reds indicating some of the heaviest of the rainfall. Now, we'll be watching that cold front off towards our north and west swing through later on today. That will fire up some more clusters of showers and thunderstorms, and likely some of those could be on the stronger side for D.C. and areas south and east, so we'll be watching for that. Those current temperatures are in the 70s for much of the region. Later on today, it's going to be a hot one. Highs right around 90. With the humidity, it'll feel even hotter. More details coming up. Lex is here with the latest on your traffic. How are the roads?
All right, well, we do still have this one road closure here on part of US 1 in Fairfax County. You're going to want to take another route, maybe 95 if you are headed northbound that way. You are going to be stopped here right as you're approaching Mount Vernon, so do keep that in mind as you start your commutes this morning. Taking a look across the region, you are seeing some instances that have popped up. They're not causing much congestion. We are seeing just a little bit of congestion there on 295. That's just after you pass by Kenilworth Avenue. For the most part, though, we are looking good throughout the region. Looking at one of these hot spots here over on the outer loop in Montgomery County, you can see traffic is moving smoothly, and hopefully it'll keep that up for the commuters as they head out the door.
All right, Lex, thank you so much for that report. Your time right now is 6:02.
That is right. A quick look at your Know and Go headlines this morning. First up, former President Donald Trump has turned himself in to the Fulton County Jail last night. This right here is his mugshot released by officials. This is the first mugshot ever for a former president of the United States. Trump and 18 co-defendants facing charges related to efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Trump continues to deny any wrongdoing.
An incident filed with D.C. police reveals a student at KIPP DC High School was asked to lift her shirt after she set off the metal detector. The vice principal asked the student to step in another room and lift her shirt as a precautionary measure. It was determined the student's bra wiring set off the detector.
And the Virginia Attorney General says schools in the Commonwealth should follow Governor Youngkin's new transgender student policies. At least 7 school districts in the state rejected them. The Virginia ACLU says the attorney's opinion is not mandatory.
All right, Montgomery County Public Schools says it's almost fully staffed with teachers ahead of the first day of school on Monday.
That is right. Some good news as the school district will be welcoming back more than 160,000 students. Our Tosin Vakili is live this morning at the MCPS Board of Education with important details ahead of that first day of school. So Tosin, give us a percentage on just how fully staffed the district says it is.
Well, the school district says they had 99.03% filled with classroom teachers as the new school year is about to begin at Montgomery County Public Schools. They also say they are fully staffed when it comes to bus operators and bus attendants as well. Now, this new updated information came during a Montgomery County School Board meeting yesterday. School leaders say they hired over 74 bus drivers this summer from 3 job fairs, and about 70 bus attendants were hired. Now they'll have over 1,200 bus operators and over 600 bus attendants this school year. They also have substitute bus drivers and attendants hired as well. MCPS leaders also give an update on the bus app that will allow parents to track their child's bus.
We are still in the process of working out the contract details with the company. We have selected the company. We are working out the contract details, and the implementation is very important for us. So we are looking at release of the bus app probably around December of this year, because it will not only be for students and families to use, but our depots will be using it and our schools will be able to use it as well.
And the school district says all bus routes have been shared with families. And of course, MCPS students have a few more sleeps before they head back to school for the start of the new school year. Now, they also said that they have a back to school fair this Saturday where they'll be doing more hiring. So coming up in the next hour, I'll tell you just how many more teacher positions the school district says they have to fill. I'll tell you that in the next hour, but I'll tell you it's really not a lot. But for now, we're live at the MCPS Board of Education. I'm Tosin Fakile for DC News Now. Back to you.
Thank you, Tosin. Some parents in Montgomery County are speaking out after a judge ruled that they cannot opt their kids out of lessons involving LGBTQ+ topics.
Yeah, these parents held a rally outside of MCPS headquarters after the decision, saying they were disappointed by the judge's rulings. Now, this all comes after MCPS Board of Education approved the use of more than 22 LGBTQ+ text in the county classrooms in October 2022. Now, parents who argued against the judge's rulings say these books are inappropriate. Meantime, those who support the decision say it will make more students feel welcome in the classroom.
A lot of parents are very worried about the instruction they'll be getting, not just instruction, not just reading a book, but discussions and instruction given by teachers.
I think the ruling speaks to the importance of inclusive curriculum, and it also speaks to I think no one really wants opt-outs to be the first choice.
The school board also responding to the ruling, saying in part, quote, MCPS remains committed to cultivating an inclusive and welcoming learning environment. And developing now, former President Trump turned himself into the Fulton County Jail last night.
That is right. This after the county district attorney brought a case against Trump and 18 co-defendants, claiming they were part of a criminal enterprise to keep Trump in the White House. Now, this right here is the first mugshot that Trump has had to take over the past 4 indictments he has faced. He is the first president in history to have a mugshot taken. This booking also marked the first time Trump had to report to jail rather than a courthouse following an indictment. Trump was released on a $200,000 bond. According to that bond agreement, he is not allowed to make threats against any co-defendants or witnesses, including on social media. After the arraignment, he continued to deny any wrongdoing.
It's a very sad day for America. This should never happen. If you challenge an election, you should be able to challenge an election. I thought the election was a rigged election, a stolen election. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong.
Looking ahead to what's next, a judge has set October 23rd as the trial date for the former president, as well as the 18 other people charged in that indictment. Now, this all comes as Trump officially returned to Twitter under its new name, X. He posted a photo of his own mugshot right here. You can see on the social media site last night. This is Trump's first post on X since he was banned from the app 2 days after the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
And Maryland State Police is under fire for what some people are calling racial discrimination. This stems from the department allowing a high-ranking official to retire with benefits after sending a racist photo regarding George Floyd 3 years ago. State officials say they forced Corporal Jason Orrose to retire in poor standing. But civil rights officials say they aren't happy he was able to retire with benefits. While advocates say Orrose admitted he sent the picture, they say that's not enough. The Caucus of African American Leaders agrees.
There's certain things we won't tolerate, and one of them is Black people being disrespected by law enforcement officials who Black taxpayers pay for, by the way.
He still gets to lay back. He can go to another police department if he wants to. And until accountability starts translating into money in someone's pocket, only then will you see real change.
And we reached out to Corporal Oroz for a comment, but haven't heard back.
And police are investigating an incident that happened at KIPP DC school. Now, yesterday, a student was asked to lift her shirt after the metal detector went off. Well, it turns out it was just the wiring in her bra. The girl was searched with a wand from the machine and told to see the vice principal. The vice principal told the student to walk into a copy room to continue that search. She had the student lift up her shirt and no weapon was found. They did determine it was the wiring in her bra. Now, the school did provide the following statement saying, quote, the student was asked to step aside by our security team and went through an additional wanding procedure as another measure of security. Based on our investigation, which consisted of reviewing video footage from the incident and statements from both the KIPP DC staff member and the student in question, we have no reason to believe there was any improper activity.
In Virginia this morning, JLARC, that's the General Assembly's nonpartisan research arm, found that Virginia schools receive less money per student than the U.S. average. That includes 3 of the 5 states that border it. Now, they found that between fiscal years 2019 and 2021, every school district in the state employed more staff than the state's funding formula calculated than they should have had. So the group's report recommends changing the formula from being based on staffing needs to one based on students. So similar to most states in the U.S., JLARC concludes it will be, quote, more accurate, more transparent, and easier to maintain over time. But not all state lawmakers are sure that this is what they want to do.
What will happen is you'll have a House and a Senate committees, joint committee, get together and delve into this. And then out of that committee, there'll be proposals on the way to tweak this.
The report also found Virginia's current formula regularly underestimates staffing needs. The recommendations are estimated to cost $3.5 billion to implement, and this comes as state lawmakers say they're getting close to completing the state's budget.